Hi everyone, Happy New Year's first of all. I hope this very first week of 2023 is doing you well, and I hope whatever goals that you guys have, you guys are, making sure that you guys are being proud of yourself and acknowledging even your baby steps. Like say for example for me, like my sleeping habits or my sleeping schedule is considered like a bad habit. I'll sleep at 5, 6, 7 a.m. and then I'll wake up at like 2 p.m., maybe 1 p.m. the earliest, but it corresponds to my lifestyle though, because I work at night anyways. So say for example, that's your goal for this year, right? I want to wake up a little earlier this year, and you end up waking up 10 minutes earlier, even 5 minutes earlier. Make sure to be proud of yourself. Like that's a baby step, but you're still moving forward towards your goals, right? So make sure that you are always, not downgrading. What is that? Like underestimating yourself. I don't even think that's the right word, but you know what I mean. Like, just make sure that you're not talking negatively, but always encourage yourself. Like, say you do 5 to 10 minutes earlier this time. Try 15 minutes tomorrow, so on and so forth. So, I have a lot to update you guys. I know I didn't keep my promise last year. I know a couple of people, I don't know if they're my subscribers or if they were newcomers. So if you are a newcomer to my channel, welcome. And if you are a subscriber already, welcome back. And so I think in my previous video, I had mentioned a breeder, an online breeder that I had bought from that had sent me a little sling that had died overnight. And I wasn't sure why, because she had ventilation. The fruit flies that they sent over with the spider was still alive in the morning. I misted a paper towel to give her humidity and water. So I really wasn't sure what happened because I had left her alone overnight because, she had just went through probably a traumatic, ride over to get to my house. So I left her alone until the next day. And so she ended up dying overnight. And then I had emailed them and I was like, hey, I know your policy is like it has to be dead upon arrival. And you have to also take a picture within an hour of it getting to your house in order for them to send you a replacement. But they did end up sending me a replacement. I had to just pay for shipping. But turns out the one that they sent me ended up being blind. Yeah, I know, like 8 eyes, and she ended up being blind. And I was really sad about that. I actually reached out to an expert because she actually has a adult jumping spider that is also blind, or she grew up blind as well. And she even told me, surprisingly, this replacement had survived way longer than she thought that it would. And me too. I mean, I was kind of like, every single day I was like, oh my gosh, like I was having more and more hope that she was going to grow up regardless of her being blind. The reason why I kind of felt like something was off with her was because, well, for one, she didn't jump at all for like a good week that I had her. She still wasn't jumping. And she was very tiny too. And you could tell that she was like most jumping spiders, like they'll look up at you, or they'll like, you could visually see them like know where they're going. But she seemed so lost. And I was like, you poor little baby. I was like hand feeding her. I was using a Q-tip to give her some water. I was like letting her roam around. I mean, she is blind, so she wasn't like really fast. She like practically almost didn't move. Sometimes she'll like maybe crawl really, really slowly. She'll chill here, or she'll be like on this enclosure, and I'll watch her for like a good 30 minutes. And so she ended up passing away in like, I think I had her for like 2 months. And so I'm not gonna name any breeders only because I don't want to start any drama. It's crazy that there's actually a lot of drama that goes on in this hobby. I mean, I understand you calling people out when they are taking care of these little creatures, in a wrong way, inhumane way. I feel like that's understandable. But there's actually a lot of drama between a lot of breeders in this hobby. And so if you guys want to be more informed, I do follow like this pretty big jumping spider Facebook page. I don't remember what it's called, but I think you could just look it up in the search bar and you'll find a bunch of groups. And then you could try to join them. And then you could see the blacklisted breeder list, which is, I had found out that the breeder that I had bought from is actually on that list. But the thing is, I bought Proteus from them I think 4 months before I try to buy a female, and he's growing up fine. So, but the thing is, he was a little bigger than those two females that I had bought. So he's doing fine. I'm really, really fortunate that he's growing up fine. At least one of their jumping spiders that they sent me is, doing well. So there's that. Let me see. My previous video, actually, I think this video, I'm gonna finally post the pictures and the names of the jumping spiders that I have that I'm going to mention. So since I mentioned Proteus, I'm gonna post him first. And then Dawn, I had mentioned her in my previous video, and she laid eggs. Dawn and Zorro, which is the baby daddy, Zorro. And she laid an infertile egg, actually, at first. And then she had laid another egg sac, and I finally can see like 8 or 9 babies inside. I kind of like put my flashlight kind of close, and you can see them crawling inside. It's so cute, and I can't wait to see how they look as babies in comparison to Satomi's babies. She's one of my very first jumping spiders that I had found in my backyard, and then Hades is also the male version of her that I had also found like right at I found him in here in my patio, and he was like super hungry, and then I decided to take care of him. So Satomi, Proteus, and then I'm gonna do Satomi, and then I'll do Mako and Hades. But I'm probably just gonna post of Hades because Mako looks exactly like him. They're just two different spiders. I also caught a huge Huntsman spider. I ended up taking care of him because I was watching TV, and my walls in here are pretty light in color, right? And this spider is like he's like a dark brown. And yeah, I think it's a male. So I was watching TV and I saw something move, and I was like, what is that? And I looked at it and I was like, dang, that's a huge spider. So let me show you guys. I don't know if you guys can see. Let me see. He's pretty huge. I need to clean up the fruit flies in there because I was just dropping a bunch of fruit flies. And man, my nails are really dirty. I'm so sorry if you guys saw that. I need to clean them. I had just, I was like working in the garden today, or this morning, or not morning, but like a couple hours ago. And yeah, that's kind of gross. But I saw it and I was like, I kind of want to take care of you because, I also use this app that I had it downloaded for my class. It's called iNaturalist. I'll list it right here. But basically, I think it's free because when I took that class, I don't remember having to pay anything to use it. So basically, how you use this app is like if you love insects, right? But you don't know how to ID them, like, or it's hard to like have to Google like insect with, I don't know, brown legs and like 2 eyes. I don't know, something like that, right? Along the lines of that. You can literally you could take pictures like of the insect that you're trying to ID, and like from the front, from like under their belly or like their back, just in any different angles. And this app will help you ID it. Like say it'll show a list of what has been seen nearby already from where you're at, and then like maybe, yeah, so it's like location. So say it'll like post up, it'll give you a list of like 5 different species or different like types of insects, and you could kind of like visually compare it to what you're trying to ID, and then see which one it is, and then you'll find out the name of it, like scientific name, the common name, and then you could probably Google it if you want to know more information about it. So he's huge. I actually think I found a smaller one after I caught him, so I feel like I might have like a family of this Huntsman spider. It's kind of scary because clearly they get pretty big. I still have Satomi's babies. I think I have like five or 6 of them left. And then I had actually bought another regal jumping spider, female. I finally found a breeder that was, like reputable. and she's growing up fine too. She molted like twice already. So I finally got Proteus a new friend, perhaps a new girlfriend in the future. And I'll probably post I'll post a picture of her right here too. Her name's Chio, Chiyo. And let me see. Zoro, Dawn's baby daddy. I could kind of see that he's slowing down a little bit. I feel like he's pretty old already, and he's not like moving as much, but he's still eating and he's still drinking water that I could see, and he's still jumping every so often. So I think he's like okay for now, but hopefully he stays with me for a little longer. I also bought reptile moss right here. I don't know if you can see it. And I'm gonna go on a trip to Hawaii at the end of this month for like an early birthday gift. So, and I know my parents are not gonna help me open these and mist them every single day. So the moss, its purpose is to keep the humidity levels in here, and I believe they can also drink water from it. Although I might have to beg my mom to help me mist at least the paper towels that I have in there. And then I also have like a this helps with like letting you know the temperature in your enclosures and also the humidity levels. It's like it's pretty cute. It's so small, and like it's helpful too, because I'll know for sure, like I think the humidity levels that you should keep your enclosure should be like between 50 to 60%. And then I think they also like maybe 75 degrees. So it kind of helps me, like when I see that it's below 50% humidity, I'll like mist the side of the enclosure. So one of my I saw in one of my comments that they wanted me to mention some of the things I had found in my research when it comes to jumping spiders. And basically, I feel like from what I found was that majority of the jumping spiders that, I mean, if you're in California, I think majority of the jumping spiders that we could keep as pets, I think the care sheet is pretty much the same, other than like the tropical jumping spiders. Like say, for example, Hylas giganteus, I think. That's a tropical species. So I think their humidity levels has to be more specific, because where they're from is like probably like hot and like humid. So taking care of them in like where I live in California might not be a good idea unless you really want to take the time to like set up a really good enclosure for it, because they get huge too. I mean, in the name is giganteus, right? So I think I've seen videos where they're like huge, they're like, and they're heavy, and I really wanted one too, but I was kind of like, it's okay. I think I want to stick with like the smaller but like bigger species, like the regal jumping spiders. I like them a lot, so I think I'm gonna mainly try to take care of them and like collect them. I guess not collect them, but like have multiple of them. Owning them, I feel like it can be time consuming. I mean, only if it depends on if you want to be the type of owner to like actually hold them and handle them. For me, I like to handle my jumping spiders. So every single day, I think when I started off, I like say this is the jumping spider right here. Every single day, I'll like be very slow with it, and I wouldn't touch the jumping spider. I'll just like every so often, like every other day, I'll like inch my finger closer to them. So it kind of gets the feel of like, it'll like see my finger, it'll sense my finger, but then like it'll know that I'm not gonna hurt it, you know? I think for some of my jumping spiders, even if I got close to it, it'll like run away, right? And then there are some jumping spiders, depending on their personality as well. If they're like super outgoing, of course, you know, eventually it'll probably just crawl on your hand on its own. And then there's gonna be some where they're never gonna like human contact. So for those ones, I would suggest leaving them alone, and you know, making sure that they have like things to climb. Like for me, I have like an walnut hide or an acorn hide for them to go in there. And then I have like the vines too for them to climb and jump on. So for those, just leave them alone. And then there will be some that are okay with being handled. And those are really fun too. But I think owning them, depending on how many you own, because for me at one time, like I said before, I think I had like 22 at one time, or maybe 30. And it gets kind of hard to like have to spend a good amount of time for each one to get used to, you know. And especially because I breed them too, and I sell them, and then I give them away to my friends and family. Like I want to make sure that, especially if I'm giving them away to people that want to handle them, at least under my care, they're already kind of used to like human contact, so it might help the next owner or parent to handle them a little easier because they're already used to like somebody reaching into their enclosure and whatnot. Buying them, like I said, for that specific breeder that I had bought from, I would just say to take a look at the blacklist and make sure that, because I was very surprised. Like I feel like the breeder that I got from, they're pretty popular, so I wasn't expecting them to be on the blacklist. So there's that. I typically don't buy from online breeders unless I know for sure somebody referred me to them. Like say for example that expert, I'll ask her if like she's had any issues with this breeder before in the past, and then she'll either say like, oh yeah, like, you know, she's money hungry, or like she doesn't really care much about her customers. Then of course I'm not gonna want to purchase from them, you know. Finding them, apparently I heard that around, I think starting from October, it's like spider season. So that's when they all come out, I believe. I don't know if they come out to like breed or they just come out because the weather's nice for them. But I feel like if you are trying to go out to look for them, I feel like October is like a good starting month for you to go out to like a park, go into your backyard, your front yard, anywhere that has like grassy or like walls. I think you could like go out there and like take a look and see if you, I'm pretty sure you'll find one though eventually. I think I found a lot of mine, I want to say like July, like earlier than October. So I was kind of surprised that someone was like, oh yeah, like it's spider season. I was like, I did not know there's a spider season, but thanks for the information, you know. Like I was like, okay, well, if you say it's spider season right now, then I might as well go out to, you know, observe or like take a look at if there's any other jumping spiders around. Breeding. I mean, I barely started breeding like, I want to say like 6 months ago, and I haven't like breeded them very much. I think I only breeded one, which is Dawn. It's kind of a scary process, to be honest, because if you read online, most of the time the females will kill and eat the males. I'm not really sure why. I think it's like just because they can, because they're bigger than the males. I'm not sure. But it is kind of scary watching them go through the process, because since they're so tiny, I wouldn't even really know how to separate them if I do see the female try to like eat or bite the male jumping spider, because they're so small. Like I don't know how to separate them without hurting them, you know? Like say they're like this tiny. Like how do you separate them if they're like, you know, tangled up and like trying to kill each other? So I haven't dealt with that yet. Well, thankfully. Zorro and Dawn, they did fine. I think right after the mating process, they just went their separate ways. But Chio and Proteus, I'm not sure, because Proteus is like literally huge now. And I believe the females will get bigger than that. So she's gonna get bigger than that and bigger than him. So I'm hoping that they'll be okay when I finally mate them together. Because I put their enclosures next to each other, like it's these two. Chio is this one, and then this is Proteus. But they kind of stare at each other a lot. Like I noticed that like if their eyes meet, if one of them moves up, this one will move up to, and then like sometimes this one will move this way, and then he'll kind of like want to follow her. It's pretty cute, but I know in like their world, they're probably like just cautious of each other, or in the wild, if they see something else, they're gonna be defensive. So I believe that is all I have today. It is my very first video in a while, so I feel like I was pretty awkward in this video, but I will try to be more thorough in my videos and not like all over the place. I'll kind of try to list out what I'm trying to say in order so that it's not like bouncing back and forth between different topics. So like I said, I'll post the pictures and then the names, and then I'll also post the app that I had mentioned. And then honestly, I might actually just like paste, or I'll type out something for the Facebook page too. If you guys do have Facebook, I literally only use Facebook for like just to look at that Facebook page and like Messenger. But if you guys want to know more information that I probably can't give you because I'm not an expert, I think there's two different pages. One is for like reviews for breeders, and then one is like just information in general. So I'll let you guys take a look at that. And then if you guys want to come back to my video and comment something, and something that you found on the page that I probably didn't read through, then that would be cool too. Or just in general, just comment anything that you want and I'll reply to you when I see it. Okay? So I hope you guys have a really good rest of your week, and I will see you again next time for an update. Thank you. Bye.